Last week on Monday Night Raw, the WWE Universe was left in absolute disbelief after witnessing one of the most jaw-dropping betrayals in recent memory. What was once seen as an unbreakable alliance between Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed suddenly came crashing down in brutal fashion. The Vision, the faction that Seth had so proudly built, was torn apart in an instant. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed turned on their leader, viciously attacking him in the middle of the ring, leaving the self-proclaimed visionary broken, humiliated, and betrayed. The moment sent shockwaves through the entire WWE landscape. Fans couldn't believe what they had just seen, commentators struggled to find words, and Seth Rollins was left lying motionless, staring up at the arena lights as his empire crumbled around him. Now, 1 week later, the tension is even higher, and the backstage area on Raw is buzzing with speculation. Everyone is talking about Bron Breakker, his motives, his words, and what might come next. Earlier tonight, in an exclusive backstage segment, Bron Breakker finally addressed the WWE Universe and sent a hard-hitting, personal message directly to Seth Rollins. Standing under the dim backstage lights, his face filled with anger and determination, Breakker made it clear that there was no going back. "Seth," he began, his voice cold and controlled, "you should have never trusted me. You called yourself a visionary, but the truth is, you were blinded by your own ego. You made me your soldier, your enforcer, your right hand, but I'm done following your vision. From now on, I'm creating my own." The intensity in Breakker's eyes told the story better than any words could. The young powerhouse, once seen as Rollins' most loyal ally, was now declaring war. He wasn't just rejecting Seth's leadership, he was positioning himself as the next dominant force in WWE. His final words were chilling. "If you come looking for payback, Seth, just remember one thing: you'll get broken." That statement echoed through the halls of the arena and set social media ablaze. Fans began debating whether Breakker's actions were fueled by personal ambition, manipulation from someone else, or simply the desire to step out of Seth Rollins' massive shadow. Whatever the reason, one thing was certain: Bron Breakker had officially declared his independence. Meanwhile, Bronson Reed, the other man involved in the betrayal, has remained silent since last week's shocking events. The colossal competitor, known for his sheer power and intensity, hasn't offered any explanation for his actions. However, there are whispers that Paul Heyman, the legendary strategist known for orchestrating some of WWE's most seismic power shifts, might be the puppet master behind this chaos. Rumors suggest that Heyman has been quietly recruiting talent for a new power movement, a faction that could reshape the future of Raw. Whether or not these rumors are true, the connection seems too strong to ignore. Heyman has a history of aligning himself with rising stars, guiding them to championship gold and dominance. Could Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed be his latest prodigies? When asked for comment earlier in the night, Paul Heyman refused to confirm or deny anything, offering only a sly smirk before walking away. That one look said more than words ever could. As the night continues, Seth Rollins is reportedly on a mission of vengeance. Sources backstage reveal that Rollins arrived at the arena early, stormed into the building without saying a word, and has been seen pacing the hallways, visibly seething with anger. After years of being betrayed, manipulated, and targeted, Rollins finds himself back in familiar territory, alone, outnumbered, and hungry for revenge. But this time, it's different. This time, it's personal. The betrayal didn't come from enemies or rivals. It came from the men he trusted, the ones he believed would carry the vision into the future. That betrayal cuts deeper than any loss or injury ever could. The entire WWE Universe can feel the tension building. Every camera angle, every whispered conversation backstage hints at something massive brewing between Rollins, Breakker, and Reed. The arena is filled with anticipation, and fans know that when these three men finally collide again, it won't just be a match, it'll be a war. Bron Breakker has made it clear that he refuses to live in anyone's shadow. For months, he stood beside Seth Rollins, following orders and executing the visionary's plans. But somewhere along the way, resentment grew. Breakker began to see himself not as a partner, but as a pawn in Seth's game. The explosive betrayal was his way of taking control, of proving that he doesn't need Rollins or anyone to define his legacy. And now, with Bronson Reed seemingly on his side, the power dynamic on Raw has shifted dramatically. Together, Breakker and Reed represent a terrifying combination of speed, strength, and aggression. They are a destructive force capable of ending anyone who stands in their path. If Paul Heyman truly is the mastermind behind this alliance, it could mark the birth of a new dominant era on Raw. But Seth Rollins isn't the type to back down. The man known as the Visionary has built his career on defying expectations and overcoming betrayal. From the Shield's implosion years ago to countless personal rivalries, Rollins has always found a way to rise from the ashes. The question now is, can he do it again? Or has Bron Breakker truly shattered the Vision beyond repair? Backstage, reports indicate that WWE officials are struggling to keep the situation under control. Producers have been seen separating locker rooms and increasing security to prevent any physical altercation before the main event. The tension is so thick that even other superstars are keeping their distance, not wanting to get caught in the crossfire. Corey Graves commented earlier in the night that Seth Rollins looks like a man possessed, someone who's no longer thinking about championships or glory, but pure, unfiltered revenge. Meanwhile, Breakker has been spotted alongside Bronson Reed, looking calm and confident. When asked about Seth Rollins' possible retaliation, Breakker smirked and said, "Let him come. He'll find out what happens when you stand in the way of the future." Those words sent a clear message. Bron Breakker isn't afraid. He's ready for whatever comes next. Fans online have been divided since last week. Some argue that Breakker's betrayal was inevitable, that a young, ambitious superstar like him was always destined to step out on his own. Others believe he's fallen under Paul Heyman's manipulative influence, turning his back on someone who genuinely believed in him. Either way, the narrative is set. The Vision is shattered, alliances are broken, and Raw has become a battlefield. The question that remains is how Seth Rollins will respond. He's not just fighting to settle a score, he's fighting to reclaim his pride, his purpose, and his place at the top of WWE. As the night moves forward, rumors swirl that Seth might confront both men before the show ends. The possibility of a face-to-face encounter has everyone on edge. The audience can sense that something explosive is about to happen. Every glance backstage, every soundbite, every piece of commentary adds fuel to an already raging fire. What started as betrayal is now evolving into an all-out war for dominance and respect. This isn't just another rivalry, it's a power struggle that could redefine Monday Night Raw. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed's newfound alliance has positioned them as a dangerous